We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. Epictetus, Stoic philosopher. When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. Viktor Frankl, Holocaust survivor and psychologist. The art of not letting anything bother you. Why and how to stop politics and external circumstances from making you miserable. And don't worry, this video will not be politically themed, and I am not advocating either side. But I see so many people stressed, depressed, and fearful because of the election and the results. And this effect is so strong that there are literal physical and emotional symptoms that are manifesting in people. I want to give you a different way of looking at these things such that you can relieve your own suffering and from there move towards freedom through focus. Instead of just being unbothered, how about thriving? How about a life where you wake up happy and joyful, ready to greet the day? Well, I'm going to cover 3 key points to transform your suffering into joy, to take your power back, and achieve freedom through focus. Now, when external circumstances can make you feel or act a certain way, then you are giving up your power. You are letting others control you. If I can just come along, push a couple of buttons, and you react predictably, then I am controlling you and you are giving up your freedom. First, we need to understand the difference between control and influence. Worry pretends to be necessary but serves no useful purpose. Eckhart Tolle, spiritual teacher. Take the election. Whether it was this one or the last one, different groups of people all across this country ended up feeling stressed, angry, depressed, fearful when they did not win and when the winner was intolerable to them. Their quality of life suffered as a result in the days, weeks, and months following. Many were miserable, and in many cases, their loved ones were affected by their negative attitude. Now, why was this the case? Because of too much attachment and importance being assigned to things that are outside of your control. For most of us, voting is the one action that we can take. Once you've taken that action, it doesn't make any sense to lower your quality of life. Give up your happiness and your freedom to things that are now firmly outside of your control when it doesn't go the way that you want it to. Now, some may say to me, Lance, don't you know what XYZ candidate or ABC person will do or did to this country? I have a right to be upset. You don't know what's going to happen. And they're correct. They have a right to feel whatever way they want to feel. But if you have that right, wouldn't you choose happiness over misery? Sure, probably would, but they're not consciously choosing. They're no longer in control of themselves when these things can just automatically upset them so much. And they are less effective at making effective change in that suffering state too. Realize that you can only truly control yourself, your thoughts, feelings, actions, and beliefs, and these things shape your reality around you. You can only directly control some things through your actions. Others, you can have a limited influence but no direct control, and the vast majority of things that we all get upset about are firmly outside of our control. Here, the practice is to start focusing energy only on what's within your control. By all means, be informed if you'd like, but there's no sense getting all stressed out about it. It's only going to lower your mental health, lower your physical well-being, stress creates sickness, and it's going to remove any happiness that you have. Second is accepting and letting go. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Reinhold Niebuhr, theologian and author of the Serenity Prayer. If you find your here and now intolerable and it makes you unhappy, you only have 3 options. Remove yourself from the situation, change it, or accept it totally. If you want to take responsibility for your life, you must choose one of those 3 options and you must choose now. Then accept the consequences. No excuses, no negativity, no psychic pollution. Keep your inner space clear. Eckhart Tolle, spiritual teacher. There is no shortage of bad news and negativity in this world. Fear and anger get more eyeballs on the screen, so the news is mostly negative. Fear, anger, and stress are also great states to brainwash you with. When you are experiencing intense emotion, particularly survival states like fear, you no longer process information rationally. It bypasses your rational filter and your mind accepts it without question because it is focused on survival. Well, it's no wonder then that politics is mostly fear and anger based. We can't let XYZ into the office because of insert fearful narrative here. No. If ABC gets into office, all hell is going to break loose. Any of that sound familiar? The key here is understanding none of that is within your control anyway, and thus it does not require your emotional or thought investment. At any given time, there are tens of thousands of bad things happening all over the planet. What good does it do to spin on all of them? And there's 10,000 good things happening every moment too. Why don't we choose our focus, because you're going to get more of what you focus on. Instead, accept what you cannot change or have control over and just let it go. Now, acceptance does not mean it's okay. It simply means we are acknowledging that it is something that is out of our hands so that we can free up energy for constructive action elsewhere in life. If childhood poverty is a focus of yours and you are upset that XYZ is going to cut funding for that, well, it would be more constructive to figure out the actions that you can take to support that cause than just stewing in anger. Like, you could donate your time or money at a food pantry. And when you're there doing those actions, be positive and happy. Spread that positivity and happiness in the world so that it can become a better place. Your emotional state is contagious for better or for worse. Be the change you want to see in the world. It's like marching angrily down the street for peace. Gotta have peace now. What is being contributed to the world in that moment? Anger or peace? Third, take control of yourself and your life. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher. Now, at this point, you may intellectually know these things, right? I know I shouldn't be so attached or get so upset, but I just don't know how to go about doing that. Well, first, realize that you do not have to consume politics and news, especially if that's something that is frequently upsetting and disturbing to you, right? You are what you feed your brain. You do not need to be informed of everything that's going on in the world at every moment. That's a myth. What good does it do to be informed of things that are outside of your control? If things are important enough in the world, you will have a real person come and tell you in physical 3D reality. And now, second is to practice and cultivate mindful awareness. The more awareness you have, the less things will bother you and the more you can think critically. You will cultivate responsibility, the ability to choose to act rather than to react. And along mindfulness is, of course, meditation. And there are plenty of guided meditations on YouTube that are much easier than just sitting quietly breathing. And meditation has been scientifically proven to make changes to the structure of your brain that will make you less reactive and stressed, more happy and peaceful and aware. And it only takes like 10 minutes a day. Self-reflection is another good mindfulness practice. Find out who you're busy being: thoughts, feelings, actions, beliefs, and values. These make up your current identity. Most of our lives are created unconsciously by unexamined beliefs and stories about reality. Sit down and write down what you believe about reality and your values. It's helpful to start with broad topics like money, relationships, health, etc. And once you get started, it will become automatic and you will find yourself writing all sorts of things down. Anything that you have a strong attachment or aversion to, there's a solid belief there. By reflecting on your current identity, you are cultivating more awareness of self, and it's leading to more happiness and less stress. Now, third is to choose how you perceive challenges. Your reality is created by your own perception of it. You will frequently have no control over situations as they unfold in your life. How you interpret it, the meaning that you assign to it, will make all the difference between suffering and joy. Emotionally resilient people will reframe challenges and setbacks as opportunities for growth instead of problems. That way, even in the worst times, you are at a bare minimum contributing to your personal growth. You get more of what you expect. So the more you go into a problem expecting to find gold, the more gold you're going to find. Now, fourth is to find your purpose and passion. It's a lot easier to be happy when you have a purpose and a passion to focus on. You will naturally shift away from stress and worry into fulfillment and joy in the present moment. Now, it doesn't have to be a business venture. It could just be a hobby that you're really passionate about. But having an outlet for that passion, a focus where everything flows and you lose track of time, that is one of the keys to living a happy and fulfilled life and to not letting things bother you. I always have multiple passion projects going on in my life, and I need that structure. I need that outlet to channel my focus and energy to lose myself. And hours will go by while I'm in a flow state creating. If you make having a happy, fulfilled life one of your passion projects, that's when it starts getting really good. Now you will naturally distance yourself from things that bother you or reframe your perception to not allow it to bother you, because it goes against your goal. It goes against the prime directive, right? Bonus points if this thing is something you believe to be meaningful for the world, like planting trees, feeding people, teaching children. Now you are giving back, building a happy life for yourself, and channeling passion and purpose. Now, fifth is to create a calm, empowered mindset through routine, taking up daily habits to reinforce this calm, grounded state of mind. These are things like going for walks outside, gratitude, meditation, deep breathing, limiting your screen time, etc. When you stack the positive benefits of these exercises and habits, you will slowly create a life where you are less bothered, more happy, and more healthy physically. Walking outside every day is literally the most powerful thing you could do, followed by meditation. Then, during your day, when you feel yourself getting attached and tight, whether it's in a discussion that's turned into an argument, how often does that happen, a piece of news or a bad event, you can practice accepting it and letting it go. Feel and be aware of the emotion, but let it pass like a cloud in the sky above you of your mind. Choose to agree to disagree instead of arguing with someone when neither of you will change your mind and you already know it going into it. Turn off the news and go build your passion instead. You really can live a life where things mostly don't bother you and you are mostly fulfilled and happy every day. Now, we're human, of course. We're not going to be happy all the time, but we can take that conscious effort to be more happy more of the time. And it does take effort to get started. But like anything, it will become a habit and then a natural way of being such that you don't have to try so hard. And in this day and age, I think we could all use a little less attachment and a little more joy and fulfillment in our lives. Much peace and love to you, my friend.